Hi, this is Kathy for Trans by Deaf, and this week we are talking about psychological change during transition. The principal question is, have you seen any psychological changes since you started on HRT? I will have to say that I have seen a large number of psychological changes since I started on HRT. The very first change that became apparent when I first started to take hormones was that I would cry at a drop of a hat. I never did that as a man. I would have died before I cried. And so the first one is I became very sensitive toward any kind of emotional situation that I was put in. I would cry for happiness. I would cry for sadness. Somebody could do something that upset me and I would cry rather than get angry. That was the biggest one that bothered me the most, was handling that particular emotion. Beyond that, the psychological changes that I've seen is I am a lot less aggressive. As a man, I was very dominant, a very aggressive person that didn't hesitate to get right up in your face, and I now am much more laid back and do not get up in your face and are not aggressive. I am almost the point of being a passive type of woman, where I sit and listen and react only after having listened very carefully. And I usually, if I'm going to react, I will react by crying rather than getting mad and uh, going and act like I'm going to hit you. The next change that I've seen is that I have become much more of a workaholic than I already was. I put in lots more hours. I try and outdo the people who are around me. One of the things that's really bothered me about getting older is that it is very difficult to do as much as the young people who have a lot more energy. The other change, which I'm not sure is psychological or the result of the hormones, is that I have slowed down a lot in my walking. I tend to, without thinking, walk and act and be a woman. I don't know if that's because I'm a woman full time or because of the hormones. It's a change in my body posture that I have. I will stand there very quietly and act and provide all of the feedback that a woman would provide rather than the aggressive feedback of a man. And I have noticed that. Well, when you look at the fact that I have been on hormones for about 5 years, once I got past those initial shifts of the crying and the emotional stability and the becoming a very hard worker, I have not seen any other major emotional changes in my life. I will say that as far as any thoughts of suicide or any thoughts of uh, depression, since I've been on hormones, I have not seen the feelings of depression at all. They have practically left me, which is different than many other women. I really, really love the feeling of being on hormones and not having that depression that I had with me for 30 years. It is almost as good as taking some of the medications for depression. My hormone medication seems to totally get rid of the depression and make me feel like a woman. Now, whether that is because I am a woman or not, we could debate some of the effects, but that's the way I feel inside. That I am very calm, I feel very relaxed, I feel no depression, and I have felt that way for about 4.5, almost 5 years now. And I would not go back to being a man with the depression that I had desiring to be a woman, with the depression cycles that I went through there. What appears to have happened to me is I have lost the depression cycles that you typically find in someone that is needing and wanting to transition and someone that is trapped in the wrong body. And I have had the positive highs that I continually have. Oh, I have my days when things don't go right and I feel sad that things haven't gone right, but it is certainly not anywhere near what it was before I started to take hormones. Well, that's my take on this week's topic. What I say with hormones is all of the psychological changes I've had are very positive. The fact that I can now release my frustrations by crying, the fact that I feel so much more positive and have lost the depression aspects that I had as a man, both of those are like gold to me. And I thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up below. If you would like to see more videos by TransByDeaf, please subscribe to our channel. And I will see you again next week. Bye.